What's going on YouTube? So I got a question from a user. He's a white guy. He let me know in the message, and he had a question. He wanted to know if I felt like there was a type of professional black woman that preferred white men. Like, is there a stereotype? Um, and I told him, I believe so. So I decided to share it with you guys. Um, First and foremost, right, when a professional black chick decides to date white or interracially, right, it's never open, right? It's always, well, I'm done with black guys, so I'm only exclusively looking at non-black men, right? There's no in between. It's always A or B, right? There's no blend. So what happens is you'll have um, certain women who decide not to date black men, right? And they just give black men the cold shoulder, right? Whether or not they still desire black men, who knows? But they give them the cold shoulder. It's almost like this, you know, last effort to guilt black men into, pursuing them, right? By acting like they don't care, by acting like they don't exist, right? They'll, and it'll be small, subtle things. They won't give you eye contact, or they'll brush their shoulders off, or they'll act like they're annoyed, that you're around. So they'll typically do something out of the ordinary, right? Like something to get your attention, but then act like they don't want your attention, if that makes sense. It's like the girl, remember the girl in middle school or elementary school that would hit you with her hair, right, on purpose. Like, you'd be sitting behind her, and she would slap her braids around, or her hair around, to hit you in the face and act like she didn't care, but she was doing it to get your attention, right? That kind of thing. So that's like the first sign, the first giveaway. The second sign is that when these black women go out, they tend to go out in a mixed crowd, right? When black women are on that, I want to find a good black man tip, right? They'll go out, in a group, and I can compare it to some lions hunting, right? So they'll go out looking for black men, quote unquote, right? But what lions do is that they'll go out and actually hunt, right? They'll single out a zebra and they'll hunt down the zebra. But what black women do is they'll go out, right, and they'll expect the zebra to come to them and die in the bush right next to them, right? So that they can, they can choose between themselves who's going to have the zebra, right? So, in a sense, if you go out and you see a lot of black women not really engaging, kind of off to the side doing their own thing, you can probably tell that they're into black men, right? Because, they feel entitled to black men, so they don't really feel like they have to holler. It's up to us, right? It's up to me to pick out the 1 out of 5, right, that I want to talk to, right? It's up to me to buy all 5 of them a drink and, pretty much wait to see which one's going to holler at me, right? While they meet, right? I'm supposed to sit almost like an interview, right? So, you can tell when you have that going on. But when a black chick is, dating white men or non-black men, this is what she'll do. She'll either go out in a small group of 2 or 3, and she'll probably be with other white women, right? Or she'll be in a larger group, but it'll be a mixed group in terms of, there's white, some Asian in there, but it's, she's probably the only black chick there, right? And they'll be in a predominantly white club, bar, or pub, right? You don't really find too many in the mixed setting, right? Because, it's not, it's a mixed setting. You're going to have Latino men there, you're going to have black men there. So they don't tend to go there. They tend to go to the more upscale spots, like I said, with their white co-workers, and they're more aggressive. They'll be at the bar, right? If there's a dude they like, they'll approach him, right? Or if they're not approaching, they'll be more engaging, right? You know how white guys do it, right? They'll see the 2 girls at the bar, right? And, they'll come up and say, hey, can we buy you a drink, right? And they'll kind of have this group conversation, right? Kind of like what you see on TV, right? And the black chick, she'll be more engaging, more open, more, I don't want to say risque, but she'll demonstrate her liking or her intentions a whole lot more clearly. Why? Because when it comes down to it, they don't necessarily feel entitled to you guys, right? They don't feel like they have the upper hand in white men, so they have to do more. They're more proactive in terms of engagement. They're more proactive in terms of putting themselves in a position, right, where they can holler at you guys. Or as opposed to black men, they do the bare minimum, right? They'll do the bare minimum and try to pass that off as trying to find a good black man, right? Trying to find a good black man is completely different for black women when they say they're trying to find a good white man or non-black man, right? When they're trying to find a good black man, you would think of, I don't know, somebody actually looking in terms of like looking for your wallet, but that's not the case, right? They want to be found. That's the issue. There's finding and wanting and wanting to be found, right? Black women want black men to find them. But in terms of interracially dating, right, black women want to find, the type of white guy or non-black guy they want to be with. So it's a different approach. It's a different mindset. So as a black dude, you can spot it. You can spot it, right? When a white guy hollers at a black chick, right, in a professional type setting, he's not really leaving his comfort zone. He's not going out of what he's comfortable because, like I said, she puts herself in his court, right? A white guy is not going to necessarily go holler at a black chick, right, in a mixed club or when there's a fair amount of other black men there. It's just not going to do it. So what the black women do is they'll go to where they are, right? Hence the whole idea of being more proactive in how they look, So hopefully that answers your question. But, if I had to give you one thing to look for, just look for the type of chick she's with when she does go out. So if you're at a bar or a club or a party, right, and if you see a black chick that you're attracted to, look at who she's with. If she's with a mixed group, right, or in a small group with other non-black women, probably white women, then chances are she's feeling white guys, right? And you don't really have to worry because most of the time it's exclusively non-black. They don't do both, right? But if you see a black chick at a mixed joint or in a large group of other black women, right, chances are, honestly, they're probably waiting for black men to find them. So, I don't know. Hopefully that answers your question. Take it easy. Peace.